Are these Etsy mistakes impacting your sales, your traffic, and your experience of being an Etsy seller? I would imagine if you're making the mistakes, they are. So, welcome back to another episode of Crochet Business Chat. My name is Pam Grice, the Crochetpreneur, and I am here to help 100,000 women find financial freedom through crochet. And so, I'm happy to have you here today. We are recording in studio today. We are going to upload this to YouTube. This will be on our podcast. So you may be listening from any variety of places, but wherever you're listening from or watching, we're happy to have you here with us. Be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Leave us a review, leave us a comment. We are here to help you be successful. So do what you need to do to make that happen. So I'm happy to have you here. We're going to be talking today about the top 3 mistakes that Etsy sellers make. We see this as we do Etsy shop critiques, or as we just talk to Etsy sellers, go take a peek at their shop. Like, these are the places that need help. So let's just go through them real quickly, and I'll share with you kind of what the mistakes are and ways to overcome them. So the first one is poor product photography. So I wonder why my number one disappeared off of this. Doesn't matter. Poor product photography. So oftentimes, when you first start an Etsy shop or you start selling online, you think your photos look good. And if you are not trained in editing, you don't understand light, you don't understand poses, or how to bring out the texture of your products or the proper colors in your products, you're going to struggle with photography. And I think everyone who isn't a photographer struggles with photography when they first begin. And even, as I go back through my shop and I look at my old listings, I'm like, what was I thinking? Because I thought my photos looked good because I didn't know better. And then as the years go on and you progress and you learn and you see what other people are doing, you understand, like, no, I still have a lot to learn. So the things that you need to focus on with your product photography is your photo clear? Can people see what it is that you're offering? Does the product fit within the frame? Is it well lit? Um, are the whites white? Are the colors the correct color? Be careful of using indoor lighting that has a yellow cast to it. Take your photos outside if you can, in a filtered light area where it's just lightly shaded or it's a cloudy day. You can take them inside in front of a window. You can use white foam cord to bounce the light around and mitigate some shadows, but don't try and get rid of shadows altogether. They bring your product to life, so you don't want to get rid of all of the shadows. You can use all sorts of different lighting as you start growing your business, and you can invest in lighting. Feel free to do that. There's lots of options out there. I use a canvas light. I also have a ring light. And again, foam core to bounce things around. So, and the last part is have it look professional. Don't have it look like you just ran out in the backyard and took a photo. Style it, use, props in your photos, have it modeled. Be cognizant of what the background of your photo looks like. Use portrait mode on your phone if you need to blur out the background. That always looks nice. Use a white background if you want to. If you have a space in your home with just a white wall, that's always great. And then you can get creative after that. But when you perfect that kind of white background look, then you can move on from there. And really ask yourself, could this be in a magazine? Because eventually, as you grow your business, magazines may approach you, and you want to be able to take photographs and send them to those publications that really show off your products. So that is the first mistake: poor product photography. Next is inadequate product descriptions. This is huge. So often people write their product descriptions without answering any questions for the customer. They'll dump a bunch of keywords just into their description and just be like, crochet baby blanket, blue baby blanket, blanket for girl, blanket for baby shower, that kind of thing, rather than explaining this gorgeous baby blanket is soft enough for a newborn, but warm enough to last them throughout the winter, whatever. Wrap your little in the whatever, e- explore emotion, talk about how you want your customer to feel, bring them into that product experience in the first paragraph of your listing. And then from there, go on to talk about materials. If it's a physical product, what materials did you use to make the product? What are the dimensions of the finished product? Do you need to add some photos that show dimension? And then your care instructions, or if it's a crochet pattern, you're talking about, is it US or UK terms? Was it tech edited? Does it have photo tutorials? Does it have charts? Get all of those specifics, what size yarn is used, what size hook is used, so that the customer knows beforehand. Before they make the purchase, they know exactly that they'll be able to complete that project if it's a pattern. Ultimately, you want to answer all of their questions before they even have to ask you. So the big thing is, like if you're doing a market and you don't put prices on your products, a large number of customers will walk away. They're not going to ask you. They don't want to take the time, or they say, like, if you don't want to tell me what the price is, then I don't care what the price is. I'm not going to ask you. And a lot of people feel the same way when they're reading your descriptions. If the description doesn't answer the question, they're not going to send you a message. They're just going to say, this person is not professional. They don't really care about their customers. They don't want me to know. I'm just going to go to someone else. So try and anticipate, what are the questions your customers are going to be asking when they're looking for, do I want to buy this product or do I not want to buy this product? Answer all of those questions right inside of your product description, and do it in a way that is not super wordy. So you want to use bullet points, headings, short paragraphs. Once you get into a lot of paragraphs and a lot of words, then they're just going to leave again. So make it as easy as possible for them to find all of the information they're looking for. And then finally, search engine optimization and marketing. Yes, that's two things, but it's really one thing. It's two things, but anyway. So search engine optimization is how you set up your shop in order to get found in search, whether it's Etsy search or Google search. So you want to use long tail keywords in your titles, tags, and descriptions, and use those keywords over and over again because they are telling the system what your product is. And use keywords that specifically relate to what the product is. Don't get all fancy and, call an Afghan a quilt, because if people are looking for a quilt, they don't want your listing for an Afghan. So be specific and use really terms that describe what you're making or what you're selling, but use descriptive phrases rather than single words. So you're not going to say Afghan, blanket, crochet, right? You're going to say multicolored granny square crochet blanket. So it's a phrase that incorporates several descriptive words that really specifically tell what your product is. And you're going to want to front end load the exact specific phrase of what it is in the beginning of your title of your Etsy listing, and then use those same phrases in different combinations in your titles. So granny square blanket, right? Crochet blanket, multicolor blanket, multicolor granny. I don't know if you want to do that, but use those descriptive words over and over again in your titles, your tags, and your descriptions. And that will help with your search engine optimization. And make sure that your title matches what your photo is showing. So if there's any sort of incongruency, the customer's going to be confused and they're not going to click through to go look at your product. If your your SEO brings up the photo and the photo doesn't have anything to do with that, they're going to be like, I don't understand, and they're just going to leave. So we're trying to get your listings shown in search, use the photos to entice them to come to your shop, and then you use the description to get them to buy. So it's a multifaceted process. And then ultimately, you are going to become a marketing expert. So study social media marketing, study copywriting, study like marketing language, really connect with your customers and find out what they want so that you can create products that meet any of their needs that they might have, and get the word out. You can't just rely on Etsy to bring you customers. You can't just post a listing and expect that the sales are going to come in. You need to do your part as well in that marketing on social media with ads, and whatever other ways you can think of with a blog, a website, a YouTube channel, whatever, to get the word out. So I know, marketing. So we've talked about putting on your photographer hat, putting on your copywriter hat, putting on your marketer hat. And ultimately, when you get those pieces right, you're going to be able to drive traffic to your shop and convert those viewers into sales, which is the goal, right? So ultimately, your shop success depends on you. And that means you continue to learn and grow and implement new strategies depending on what is working and what's not. So that's your job as a business owner. So I hope you found this helpful. Those were our top 3 mistakes that Etsy sellers make and kind of what to do instead. So I appreciate you being here. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you can take away a couple of nuggets to implement in your business this week and maybe make some changes and make some more sales. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you taking time to listen or to tune in on YouTube. Thanks for trusting me to be your co-journeyer. I don't know. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Come back again next week for another episode of Crochet Business Chat. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. And I also am going to link in the show notes a link to my Etsy product description blueprint. You might find that really helpful in working out all of your product descriptions to entice your customers to buy. So I think you'll find that helpful. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone. Talk to you later.